Well, folks, of course, my overall take on the reconciliation info coming out of the House is very simple. Go woke, go broke. And this whole reckless tax and spend and regulate plan, this is going to inflict great damage on the blue-collar, middle-class workforce, on jobs, on wages, on prosperity. Great damage. I mean, I just kind of really loved it today when Secretary of State Blinken blamed Donald Trump's conditional Afghan withdrawal plan for the catastrophe executed by the Biden administration. I love it. Let me get this right. They were absolutely bound and handcuffed to Donald Trump's plans. That was on the Afghan hearing. But wait a minute. They have religiously, obsessively, derangedly overturned every Trump policy. They overturned his tax cuts, his regulatory reduction, his energy independence, his Israeli support, his Iranian hostility, his border policies on both security and immigration, his policies towards police, recidivist crime. I'm sure I'm forgetting other things. So we're supposed to believe that Biden's Trump derangement syndrome forced him to follow Trump's Afghan withdrawal policies, which, by the way, were conditioned and gated in a number of key areas that were never fulfilled. And the former president himself has said many times he would have taken fierce combat action against the terrorist Taliban if they had acted out as they did in breaking his deal during the Biden evacuation. But coming back to the tax policy problems, we're going to talk about this evening one of the most amusing aspects coming out of Ways and Means is that, get this, the sum total revenues is now estimated to be $2.9 trillion. And then the document states that combined with dynamic growth estimates, these by the White House, of an extra $600 billion, this will fully offset the $3.5 trillion reconciliation spending. So let me get this right. A $2.9 trillion tax hike across the board on every category of producer, investor, worker, every category is going to increase growth? Really? It's naughty, naughty. They're off the Laffer curve. All I ask on this thing is give me a single textbook reference that says jacking up taxes by record amounts will boost growth. I don't care if it's supply side, demand side, Keynesian, neoliberal, probably Marxist. Well, I've never read a Marxist textbook. Just show me any textbook that says major tax hikes will promote economic growth. I mean, just saying, folks, find me some intellectual support for this inane, indefensible view. Now, focusing more narrowly on these tax proposals, it looks to me like the hardest hit area is going to be small business, which in many ways is the heartbeat of America. I'm going to quote the language of my great pal Dan Clifton, who writes today, and I quote, "A small business owner with $500,000 of income will see their income tax rate increase. The amount of income subject to that rate increases, have a new 3.8% surtax, lose a 20% deduction. The business owner could be looking at a 46 to 48% income tax rate even before considering payroll taxes and state and local taxes." That means over 50% easily. I don't know what it is about Democrats that they want to vent their spleens and punish small business people. I mean, maybe Joe Biden or Ways and Means Chair Richard Neal once had their dog run over by a small business person and have never forgiven them. I mean, I hope that's not true. I am a dog lover, but there has to be some reason for this crazy assault on small business. I mean, I can't think of a reason why, of all the economic constituents out there, they want to punish small business the most. I don't get it. Now, let's be clear. Big business gets hit, too. The corporate rate jumps to 26.5% from 21. Then you got to add on 4% for the average state. And you're looking at over 30%. That's probably still at the top of the OECD developed country list. We'll ask Scott Hodge about that later in the show. The cap gains tax is going to go up from 20 to 25%, plus, of course, the 3.8% Obamacare surtax. The top individual rate goes to 39.6, and they stick on a 3% surtax for successful earners over $5 million. We don't like success in the modern Democratic Party. Then you've got limited deductions for highly compensated executives, and you got some whacks at estate and taxes on gifts or grants or grant trusts. Plus, of course, tax hikes on corporate international income. So the gory totals, roughly $1 trillion in tax hikes on individuals, $900 billion on business, $700 billion on drug companies, and then this phony $120 billion on IRS enforcement, which will never come to pass. Now, all this is preliminary. Senate Finance Committee is going to weigh in. So will the White House. Basically, almost all people who work in business will be paying a combined tax rate above 50%, one way or another. Almost every single man or woman in business, over 50% tax rate. And of course, quoting from numerous studies, such as the CBO or the Joint Tax Committee or the Tax Foundation, the biggest burden of the corporate tax hike will fall on middle-income people, blue-collar workers, right? Profits are going to fall. That means less money for wage increases, less money to hire, less money to invest in new plants and equipment and technology that would make the workforce highly productive. None of that's going to be possible with these business tax hikes. But I want to mention one other thing. America's drug companies. This is such a sad tale. Working in partnership with the federal government, and of course, that was the Trump Operation Warp Speed, developing a COVID vaccination in 6 months instead of 10 years, literally saving the country amidst the worst pandemic in 100 years. The Democrats' reward for the drug companies' ingenuity and their patriotism is to jack up their taxes and then clamp down on price controls and then force them to pay additional Medicare rebates and abide by socialist European price controls. That's the way the Democrats say thank you to our pharmaceutical and biotech innovators who got us through the pandemic. In fact, you know, Biden and that group, they're all yelling, get the vax, get the vax, get the vax. Well, the people who made the vax are getting killed by their tax and regulatory policies. And it's going to spill over to biotech and God knows what. It's just the stupidest, awful thing. Now, apart from the tax committee, there's other stuff. Circling the wagons in different areas of the House, you've got immigration policies that would provide amnesty to dreamers, so-called essential pandemic jobs, and get this, with an eligibility starting date that could permit 1 million illegals who have crossed over this past year to claim a path to citizenship. That is coming out of the House Judiciary Committee. Now, look it. We surely need immigration reform. I'm for legal immigration reform. But that is a separate issue from budget reconciliation. I'm also reading that any part of the economy, including the over $500 billion, way over, of global warming, Green New Deal, electric car subsidies, renewable fuel subsidies, any business receiving any of those monies must have a union shop by law, right? No right to work. I noticed already in this morning's paper, Toyota and Honda, which are two huge Build in America car makers, are protesting this, as they should. So, folks, I'm going to leave you with this question tonight. Is it possible that some common sense could prevail to defeat this economic monstrosity? That's all I'm asking. Is it possible? Common sense.